Good morning, fifth graders. Let's take a look at our Tuesday Swyk. We'll start off by adding mixed numbers. We have 7 and 2/3 plus 6 and 1/9. Before we can add or subtract mixed numbers, we must have equivalent fractions. I'm going to keep my ninths, but I need to change this third into ninths by multiplying 3 over 3. I'm now going to rewrite my problem with that equivalent fraction, 7 and 6/9 plus 6 and 1/9. Now that my denominators are the same, I know that 7 plus 6 is 13. My numerator will be 7, and my 9 will be my denominator. 13 and 7/9 is my final answer. I know that that is my final answer because that 7 is prime. Number 2, we are subtracting mixed numbers. We have 3 and 11/12 minus 2 and 1/2. We need a common denominator here. I am multiplying 1/2 by 6 in order to get my equivalent fraction. So I will rewrite the problem using that equivalent fraction, 2 and 6/12. Now I'm ready to subtract. 3 minus 2 is 1. 11 minus 6 is 5/12. I know 1 and 5/12 is my final answer. That 5 is prime, and it cannot be simplified. Now let's take a look at this word problem. This word problem says Trent brought 5 and 1/2 pounds of ground meat. He used 3 and 2/7 pounds of meat to make hamburgers. How many pounds of ground meat does Trent have left? I see the keyword left, which is a clue that we're going to subtract 5 and 1/2 minus 3 and 2/7. Looking at this problem, we do need a common denominator. We do need to create two equivalent fractions. We will use the common denominator 14. So I will create those equivalent fractions here. I now have 5 and 7/14 minus 3 and 4/14. All right, very good. We don't have to do any regrouping today, but we are practicing subtracting those mixed numbers. 5 minus 3 is 2. 7 minus 4 is 3/14. I know that 3 is prime, and my final answer is 2 and 3/14. On number 4, we are multiplying a fraction by a whole number. We talked about how to turn our whole number into a fraction by adding a 1 as the denominator. So in order to multiply fractions, we multiply straight across. We see that 18 times 4 will give us 72 as our numerator, and 6 times 1 will give us 6 for our denominator. This is an improper fraction. We know that we can change it to a mixed number by dividing, which gives us a whole number of 12. 4/6 of 18 is equal to 12. We can prove that in our picture here because we see that we have 18 watermelon slices here. The watermelon slices represent our whole number of 18. If you notice, the slices are equally lined in a row of 6. So In order to find 4/6 of 18, we can look at this by rows. Let's shade in the fraction for 4/6 in the first row. That means 4 of these watermelon slices shaded represents 4/6. The same thing in the second row. There are 6 watermelon slices in the second row. If we shade in 4 of those 6, that row would represent 4/6 of the watermelon slices shaded. Then our final row, we have 6 watermelon slices in the row. We'll shade in 4/6 of the watermelon slices. Now, if we look at our illustration, we have shaded in the number of parts that represent 4/6 of 18. 12 watermelon slices equal 4/6 of 18. We talked about yesterday some other symbols for multiplying, including the multiplication sign, the dot, or the word of. Those are all clues or symbols to represent multiplication. Now let's look at dividing fractions. Here we are looking at the whole number 5 divided in half, or 5 divided by 1/2. Yesterday we talked about using the KCF method, where we would keep our first fraction, we would change division to multiplication, and we would flip or find the reciprocal of 1/2. Now, we are dividing 5 divided by 1/2. How would we change that 5 into a fraction? By adding the 1 as the denominator. So we want to keep that. That's what that K represents when we are dividing fractions using the KCF method. The C represents change. We want to change the division symbol to a multiplication symbol. And our second fraction, we're going to flip or find the reciprocal of 2 over 1 is our reciprocal of 1/2. Now, we're experts at multiplying fractions, so we're going to multiply our numerator, which is 10, and multiply our denominator, which is 1. Now, we have the fraction 10 over 1, but we know whenever that 1 is over a digit, that it represents also a whole number of 10. So 5 divided by 1/2 is equal to 10. I can show this in that illustration below with the rectangles. I have 5 rectangles here. And I can divide each of these rectangles in half. And when I divide each of the rectangles in half, I have a total of 10 parts. 5 divided by 1/2 equals 10. And our last skill, we are comparing digits. And I'm going to start by lining my place value so I can compare our digits. In the thousands place, our digits are the same. But when I look at the hundreds place, this 4 is larger than the 2. So that is a clue that 6,428 and 22 hundredths is greater than 6,248 and 23 hundredths. Great job, guys. Remember to complete the IXL lessons to go along with each of these skills before Friday. Today, you are in independent mode. Once you complete this video, you are going to your Canvas checklist where you will complete an already lesson multiplying by fractions and whole numbers. Once you complete that lesson, which will be for a grade, you have an Ed puzzle to complete. If you click the link that's on your Canvas checklist, Ed puzzle, that should take you straight to your Ed puzzle where you'll type in your first and last name and begin the quiz. After you finish your Ed puzzle, the substitute will give you a worksheet to complete. What you do not finish in class will be homework. Happy learning, guys. Thank you for working so hard. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.